2 spore colonies at his natural, 2 at his main. That's going to be enough to hold back those mutalisks. Not nearly enough, a large enough group. Modesty tried to go for that very aggressive build, but unfortunately got scouted and very quick reactions by Sulky. Tried to go and do some damage. Modesty going to try to pick some of those drones off. Just has to be careful. It is taking quite a bit of spore fires. Sulky yet again going to move out with his zerglings. Push Modesty right back. Modesty has just a few zerglings guarding his sunken colony. He's just going to sit on it. He has to get this accomplished with the mutalisk he has in the air, because other than that, he just basically has to sit in the ground. No gas mining going up for him, and he has a decent sized of mutas, I guess, but just not enough to really accomplish much. Spire almost on the way, and as soon as Spire's up, he's going to have Scourge out there. Maybe he decides to go straight. He's not really mining gas at the moment, so I'm not quite sure. Yeah, that would leave his drones very open. I'm not quite sure if he's actually going to be able to afford to produce much in the way of mutas, but he's going to produce some Scourge, try to push those mutas back, while he continues to possibly even, get some gas mining going. But at the very least, for now, Modesty's going to be able to hold inside of his own base. Going to push Sulky out a little bit, because he has produced a decent amount of zerglings, not that much, but enough to push Sulky back for a little while. Sulky finally has some Scourge out in the air. At least, picking off a mutalisk with that. That's just every little bit counts at this point, because he knows. I'm not quite sure if he managed to pick up another one. Had one mutalisk come out, but that's not going to help him much. And one single muta. But at the very least, he knows every single mutalisk he manages to pick off now. Yeah, he's going to pick off an Overlord as well. Also, Overlord's just very important all overall for Modesty. Modesty is actually thinking of going all in, because he's producing a lot of zerglings as well. Has that big mutalisk group, and he's thinking of going all in, trying to distract any anti force, going to try to pick off those spore colonies with zerglings. If he manages to pick off the natural expansion, at least he's going to have somewhat of a chance to get back into this game. He's going to move the mutalisk right inside of the main, moving his zerglings inside of the natural expansion, trying to come in close, trying to get those zerglings before he tries to run. He's actually going to run towards the base. I thought he was going to try to attack the natural expansion, but instead he's going to go right for the main, trying to pick off those spore colonies, running back a little bit, but because they're mutalisks out ready for Sulky, decent number of mutalisks as well for him. And although Sulky losing all of his zerglings, but I don't think Modesty has enough mutas. No, Modesty has, I think, 1, maybe 2 mutas running back, trying to pick off one spore. Does manage to pick off one spore colony before he loses all all zerglings. But Sulky is still in a dominant position, also going to manage to pick up this Overlord, and Modesty overall in a very bad position economically. Mind you, Sulky has been mining himself for too long, but finally managed to get some gas mining going, so he's going to reinforce with his mutas. But I think Sulky is going to be able to hold him in a decent enough position now that he's going to be able to start mining his natural expo. And just going to be in overall good position. Sulky trying to get with him zerglings into spot number. Scourge alongside mutas coming in for Sulky. We can see how Modesty micros as well. There's pretty decent, getting some decent shots off. Forces engaged outside of all sides. I think Sulky has a larger force of numbers. Those zerglings also coming in from the ground. Modesty not going to be able to hold on both the ground and the air. As soon as Sulky's mutas, actually pulls back with the mutas a little bit, but there's an open overload there, which just might be a freebie. Yet another freebie. He's just waiting until we can reinforce his forces, because Sulky, just trying to reinforce, trying to go back, probably going to try to go back in there and do some aggressive action, putting down another creep colony, most likely for a spore, starting to mine at that natural expo with a few drones, also thinking of picking up an extractor there. Yep, and that's going to allow him, as soon as he gets that double gas, as soon as that thing kicks in, there's going to be so many mutas out in the air for Sulky that's just not going to be enough for Modesty to fight back against. Modesty, at the very least, has had a decent enough economy for now, hasn't been harassed since earlier on in the game, but Sulky is still in a commanding position, I feel. Just a very easier position for him. He just has to sit back, defend, make sure, occasionally distract Modesty as he has been doing, but I think right now he's just going to focus on mutas, focus on his defenses. It has some spore colonies everywhere, so that's just going to help. Alongside with his mutalisk and Scourge out in the air, just going to be able to help him. Picking off yet another mutalisk there with his powerful spore. But just overall, very good position. Some Scourge now waiting outside of Modesty's lair to pick off anything that comes out. And yeah, I think it's going to be an easy kill. Let's see, Modesty going to try to engage some of those mutas. Has some Scourge in that grouping as well. Oh, we're going to lose mutas too. Those Scourge out there trying to reinforce his own mutas number out in the air. But I think just, yeah, Sulky just managing to run back. Has a second extractor mining. Just going to run back. Goes out there, engages the mutas in the air, runs back to his spore colonies to safety. And just that position gives him so much breathing room. Well, Modesty has to stay out there, be aggressive, and worry all the time. Gonna try to run in with some zerglings alongside the mutalisk, but I think I saw Sulky move some zerglings out there right to Modesty's base, try to do some damage. They're again gonna be muta on muta. Just not enough forces. I'm not sure if there's enough forces. Modesty does have some zerglings back in his base to defend, but I think it's just way too short to reach the priority for Sulky. Not nearly enough mutalisks there for Modesty. They're just gonna get a bunch of them picked off. and Sulky pushing back. I think one single Mutalisk left for Modesty. Modesty at the very least is going to be able to protect from the ground front, and Sulky actually, rather than pushing it at this very moment, just going to come back, continue to get enough Mutalisks out there because he knows he can, and once he has a large enough grouping that he just go out there and dominate Modesty, because he's going to be able to produce Mutalisks much more, and also going to be able to produce some Scourge alongside. Actually moving out with someone, trying to catch one flying Mutalisk out there for Modesty. Yeah, I am ready to fight. Oh god, he's going to stand right on top. Oh, fly on top of it. They don't actually stand. Fly on top of that air. Oh, okay. Hey, I faked you up. No Mutalisks coming out here, bub. We need drones. But just the fact that drones are being produced, I think is going to be a little bit of a clue for Sulky. Like, yeah, might want to go and do some damage. Modesty going to try to run in yet again, try to do some epic micro with his Mutas, try to do something, get some combos, but just far too many forces out for Sulky. Lolo Scourge as well, even with just insane micro, just not managing to do much. One single Mutas, that get picked up. One more Mutas coming in, forced to instantly get killed by Scourge, and GG from Modesty. Sulky takes a second game, and Woongjin Stars are 2-1 ahead. Insane in the mainframe. Insane in the brain. Yeah. So Sulky turned out to be quite a nice investment. Definitely a choice pick for getting himself out there. Doing a good job. Going to see how well he manages to get this going. Whether he will get the coveted all kill. We shall see. So on to the fourth set. GG guys. Wrenching out. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed.
자신의 플레이를 완벽하게 완성을 시킨다. 도저히 상상할 수 없는 일인데 김민철이 지금 그걸 해내고 있습니다.